coming from. It matters where you'll be afterwards.
Are you lost?
Are you confused?
Looking for a purpose?
Come to National Conference. God will meet you there.
How you doing, everyone? If you're looking for conference, it's the best place to be. Your life will change. If you're looking for purpose, God can meet you as well. You can grow. My testimony is I grew up as a Christian, but I never been used by God into National Conference. My first conference, I didn't have to pay. The Lord made my friends from University of Maryland paid for me in one night. So that opened the door for me to go to conference. And I didn't have any expectations, but God gave me His expectations. I remember just wanted to hear God's voice, and He let me hear His voice one day. I was on the bus ride, and said conference begins before you go to conference. And I remember the night for the pottery, my friend Michael asked, the Lord spoke to him to ask him, can you ask Bryce to pray for him? And I didn't know he said that, but he was afraid to ask me. But when we were on the bus together, God placed us together for the divine moment, and we prayed in the name of Jesus that night, and that's when God showed me the gift of healing on the bus. I would say the second time, I didn't have to pay again. I went to church that service. Uncle George was preaching, and after his sermon, he asked, how many people want to go to conference but don't have the money to go? And in my spirit, I was like, I might look foolish, but I want to go. So I stand up, and this lady in front of me in the congregation, she wrote a check that day and paid for me. And I also went to conference. God delivered me from anger, spirit of anger. I've grown up all through life without a dad, and God became my dad at conference. That's what He revealed to me. That means a lot to me.
Alright, so my first time going to national conference, I was saved, but I don't know, I was getting a little stagnant when I walked in. I was kind of lost, and I didn't know really what was the matter. And my expectation for going to conference was for the Lord to touch me, physically, because I remember one time I was crying in class and I was like, Lord, I need your touch. I don't know. And so yeah, on Saturday, on not the very last day, but the last night of conference, I remember distinctly, I felt like a tap on my shoulder. Turned around, there was nobody there. I was like, did you tap my shoulder? And this guy next to me was like, nope. And I was like, oh man, that was God. And that day, I was delivered from a lot of things, just a lot of stuff being whispered in my ear, just the enemy lying to me. He would literally tell me just lies about suicidal thoughts and just all this wickedness. But it was only then that I knew that God's word and His authority overrules that, and that I don't have to listen to those thoughts anymore. And so I was delivered, and the Lord just kind of sent me with a purpose after conference. And so I just really want to thank God for just teaching me so much in that span of 2 to 3 days.